bellies on, it wasn't as easy as just hopping on.
I came to Springfield. This is my first semester as a full instructor. I'm here for a 9-month contract. I'm in applied exercise sciences. While they're doing a search to fill for the full-time position, I'm here teaching 5 classes this semester, 2 classes in special populations, applied exercise sciences, an introduction class, a management class, and a presentation class, all in applied exercise sciences. I had a spinal cord injury when I was 16. I was a competitive ski racer, and I was at a training camp in Austria in 1985, and I fell and I broke my back. I severed the spinal cord. I was very fortunate that when I got back here to the United States, I did my rehabilitation at Newington Children's Hospital, which is now Connecticut Children's Medical Center. And they had a junior wheelchair sports team there. And I got hurt in August, and I was moved to rehab again the Labor Day weekend. And they had practice that following Thursday, was their first practice back from a little bit of a break at the end of the summer. And my physical therapists, occupational therapists, nurses, doctors, they insisted I go to this wheelchair sports practice. And I didn't know anything at all about wheelchair sports. I broke my back a month ago. I didn't know what was going on. So they dragged me to there. Because they knew my background as a competitive athlete. I remember everything. I never lost consciousness during any part of my whole experience. And we were taking our last run. It was just a free skiing run. We didn't have gates set up or anything. And I got into some ungroomed snow, and I was going a little too fast for the conditions, and I hit a chunk of ice, snow, hard pack, something or other. Caught an edge, flipped up in the air, and when I landed, the first thing to land was my back. I landed in a somersault position and immediately snapped my back with that, because I rolled down the hill a couple times in the somersault position, and I remember seeing my legs come over my head, but I didn't feel them. And so when I stopped, I couldn't get up. And obviously I knew there was something wrong. I think helped a lot was I was given my entire life back. I had to learn how to do everything all over again in occupational therapy, learn how to get dressed again, figure out how to get from point A to point B in a chair. But I was given sports back. And prior to my injury, my life, my family's life, it revolved around sports. My brother and sister were both very competitive athletes. My mother and father both very athletic and involved in lots of sports. And so by having that aspect of my life and being given that back, I think that helped with my whole rehab process. I was able to see that through the Cruisers Junior Wheelchair Sports Team, I was able to see that I could still be competitive. I still could compete locally, nationally, internationally, and represent the United States. So that helped tremendously. I didn't change my life, I changed my sport. And the rest of my life stayed the same. I just wasn't quite as tall.